What's going on, everybody? It is the one and only Q from Retro Q Gaming, back at it as always, and here we are with some possibly interesting, possibly worrying, possibly nutting news. Now, we all know that Google, in their infinite big brain, galaxy brain, KO Gaming One brain tier intellect, they change a million things per second, and some of it, pretty much all of it, makes no sense whatsoever. Now, one of these changes, which they've announced that will be upcoming and come into effect on December 10th, 2019, so exactly 1 month from today. There's a lot of superfluous info in here, but I'm just going to go through the one that I want to talk about. And that is a new section here called Terminations by YouTube for Service Changes. And here's what that little tiny paragraph says. YouTube may terminate your access or your Google account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube believes in its sole discretion that provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. Now, what that means essentially is that Google can decide at their own discretion. They don't have to get any research, they don't have to get any second opinions, they don't have to get any outside opinions either. They can do it at their own discretion. They can say, hey, giving you access to YouTube, be it some of the features, be it watching videos, be it whatever it is no longer commercially viable for us, and therefore we will essentially, well, basically ban you from YouTube, possibly ban you from just uploading, ban you from streaming, banning your channel, banning your access to YouTube in general. Now, this is obviously kind of a reach because, well, that's usually how these things go. But you always want to be careful. You always want to look at the potential. That's a big issue with a lot of these huge bills and these huge laws and all this stuff that everyone tries to bring in. It is technically the slippery slope argument, but at the same time, it's more of a potential for what if. You have all these places where they'd say, remember when, what was it, Article 13 or whatever was passing, and it said, oh, when this passes, you will no longer be able to post any video, picture, meme, anything like that whatsoever. Everything will be blocked automatically unless you get express permission, blah, blah, blah. No. See, that's the problem with things like these. That is the potential. That is the worst case scenario. But realistically, is that going to happen? Maybe down the line, but it's not going to happen and flip a switch like that overnight. It's the same way with, what was it, 10 years ago or whenever it was, when there was the whole SOPA and PIPA thing. Same deal. Everyone was expecting, or if those had passed, everyone was expecting it to just, or they were using it as the example, that it would just flip a switch overnight and boom, the internet would be destroyed. No. The situations and examples everyone were giving were something that was possible because of these bills and these laws and whatnot, but it would have been extreme worst case scenario. Now, again, that's not to say that they wouldn't potentially happen. Companies, of course, would go greedier and greedier and greedier, want more and more control and more censorship, more and more silencing, etc. And yes, eventually, we probably would have got to a level similar to that. Now, let's go back to what we're talking about here, the terminations by YouTube for service changes. Again, we looked at it, and it basically just boils down to Google can say it either is or isn't commercially viable for them to give you access to whatever it is. And of course, like I said, whatever it is, maybe uploading videos, maybe watching videos, maybe live streaming. Now, why do I want to talk about this whole thing? Well, the main reason I want to talk about this is I would probably be number one up on the chopping block for this. Mainly because, as anyone who has been here for a while knows, I always make it a point to keep monetization turned off on this channel. I have never turned it on, and I never plan on turning it on. I've never accepted any type of monetization from any person whatsoever. Be it my long-term or short-term subs, anyone who watches but isn't subbed, anyone who shows up to any live streams, any whatever it is, I don't do any of it. I do this for the love of it. I do this for fun. Now, when you think about it, that means I am essentially leeching everything from YouTube. I am giving them basically nothing back because, as far as I'm aware, based on the settings I use, I would not even be playing ads for YouTube for anyone else. So despite all this server space and bandwidth and processing power and all that they're affording me, they're getting probably literally zero for it. So, come December 10th, this could potentially just shut down my channel. Or maybe not shut it down, but maybe prevent me from uploading, prevent me from live streaming, or maybe just deleting it right out. Now, of course, I would prefer that didn't happen. I like making these videos. It's a great hobby of mine. I find it very enjoyable. And of course, live streaming, hanging out with everyone, doing whatever it is we do, talking about whatever it is we talk about, that is so much exceptional fun for me. I absolutely love it, and I would hate for that to go away. So, naturally, I'm going to continue plodding along, doing what I do here on YouTube, but I will say one thing. I have a backup plan. Now, it's a backup plan I never thought I would ever use, and it wasn't even designed as a backup plan. It was designed for something completely different, but I can now, because of this news or these potential changes, I can morph it into a backup plan should shit ever hit the fan. So, starting with this video onwards, well, actually, if you've been paying attention for a little while back, in the description of many of my videos for months now, I put in several usual social media handles. I have my Xbox Live account, I have my Steam account, I have my Twitter account, I have my PlayStation account. For some god-awful reason, I have my Nintendo Switch account in there. But now, starting with this video, I will be adding one more link to this little section, and you will find it in every single one of them. That is my Twitch page. Now, I've had a Twitch account for maybe a year or two at this point. I only use it to watch some of my friends that stream. I don't go looking for anything else, and I've never streamed on there, and I have no intentions of ever streaming on there unless I'm forced to. So basically what that means is if this ever goes away, gets shut down or restricted or whatever it is, you will find me over there on my Twitch page. Now feel free to head on over and follow if you want, just in case you miss messages anywhere else or anything like that. The page will basically be dormant and unused until it ever needs to come into effect, basically, but it's just so you're aware of it if it ever happens. YouTube being YouTube, who knows? Maybe this kind of thing is just put in for catch-22, just as a clause to get themselves out of it, or whatever it is. These companies always like to cover their own arses when it comes to legalese. But before we round out the video, like I said, I'm going to continue going on here. There's going to be, hopefully, business as usual, uploads, live streams, whatever it is, on the regular. But just before we finally hit the very end, I do want to take one single second to say something important. Now, I've been doing this for about 4.5, maybe even going on 5 years at this point. I want to say 2014, maybe 2015 is when I started. I don't even remember. I'd have to go back, look at the date on my first video. I feel like I've come a long way in that way, in the sense that I've learned how to edit video slightly, I've learned how to do audio slightly, I've learned how to do effects slightly, etc, etc, etc. When I first started this up, I figured I would probably just give up 4 or 5 years once I get bored of it. Thankfully, I never did. But I figured, yeah, you know what, I'll probably end with like 100 videos, 16 views, and 4 subscribers. And that was okay to me, because the important thing was I got my opinion, the way I felt it was right, obviously I feel it's my opinion, out on the internet. I got it out there for anyone to find it, anyone to potentially have their mind, not say blown or open, but to hear something from a potentially different perspective. If someone never watched it, that was cool with me. If someone did watch it, that was cool with me. If they didn't like it or they did like it, again, that was cool with me. It was to put it out there. That was the key important thing, and why I started and why I did this. And here I am all these years later. Some people might say, oh, you're doing really slow, you're doing really, but I don't care. I don't care. I've met many cool people along the way. All of you pretty much subbed here. We hang out, we shoot the shit, we do whatever it is we need to do. We talk about all this stuff. We have all these jokes. We have all these times. We have all these comments. We have all these topics. Sure, we don't always agree on everything, but that's part of it. And that is why I want to thank every single one of you. No matter how long you've been here, if you've been here for one day, one video, one stream, or if you were just one of those people who clicked on a random video back in the day because, oh, this topic is something strange or something that I'm into, and you saw some guy with 10 videos, 4 subscribers, and you hit that button, and you're still here. So no matter which category you fit into in that one, or even something completely different in between, I thank every single one of you for everything we've done. and I'm going to keep going, doing what I do. And unless YouTube basically shuts me down, well, I'll be here for a long, long time. But just in case I'm not, add me on Twitter, add me on Steam, add me on Twitch, whatever it is, just in case. Peace out, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thank you all so, so much.